Hi, welcome to Nicci's vlog, and today, airport security. I've just got back in Liverpool, hence I'm in the studio, after a 3-week trip in America, where I flew from London to New York to Minneapolis, back to New York, back to Minneapolis, over to LA, and then from LA to Vegas, and then from Vegas home, exclusively traveling as Nicci. So obviously I've cleared TSA at least a dozen times in the last 3 weeks, and I got patted down at least twice. So I want to point out that I'm not about to make a complaint, right? So overall, TSA are amazing. They treat me with the utmost respect. I have never had any issue. I just, I can't speak highly enough of them. They are all phenomenally cool and clearly very used to dealing with transgenders. And it's a little bit easier now. My picture in my passport looks like this instead of looking like a boy. That's much easier. But I've never had any problems from them. Not in America. I've had problems elsewhere, but not in America. Love them. They're brilliant. No complaints. But I do have an observation. And the observation is I've been patted down as a boy kind of quite a lot. You come through and my watch, will, ring security, whatever, and you have to put your arms out and be waved down and patted down. It's never an issue. I've been patted down now 3 times as a girl. So interestingly, you obviously get patted down by a girl and not a boy if you're trans, which is kind of very respectful and very fine. And they do the, do you want to go to private, miss, or are you happy to be patted down here? And so in my head, I wouldn't understand why you would want to go privately, because it's kind of fine. I've been patted down hundreds of times traveling in the States. But I was a little bit taken back the first time that the routine for patting down a female is different than the routine for patting down a male. So for a male, arms out, legs apart, they go down the front, down the back, they avoid the genital areas entirely, and I can't remember because I wasn't paying attention last time I was patted down as a boy, but I'm pretty certain they don't even touch the chest area. So I was a little bit surprised that the first thing that happened when my arms were around is the hands come round and cup underneath and feel up my underneath my breasts and feel the underwire underneath here, which I kind of thought, well, that's okay. I guess I could, be hiding something in this cavity here under my clothing, so that was fine. Okay, then she went down all the way down the front, which was a little bit kind of shocking. But then I was asked to step forward and step back, spread my legs like this, which was a bit interesting. And then she told me she was going to put her hand and move it all the way up to my crotch. And she put her hand on the inside of my thigh and moved it all the way up as far as it would go, and clearly touching all my bits, and then did the other hand, and I had to swap my legs the other way, and she did it again. And that was all a bit because I wasn't expecting it, because that's not what happens as a boy. Nobody goes anywhere near here when you get patted down as a boy. I was a bit shocked by that. And I thought, well, maybe it was just a one-off, or maybe it was just, something peculiar to that airport. But I've now been patted down 3 times. And it's clearly, this is the way TSA, and I would assume perhaps even every airport security, pat down females as opposed to males. And here's my observation. It is massively more intrusive than being patted down by a boy. And a bit of me sort of thinks, well, okay, so maybe, it's easier to hide illegal contraband or, whatever it is that they're worried that I might be smuggling in female clothes with a female body, because there's more cavities and more shapes and more places to hide stuff. So maybe it's necessary, but it doesn't feel like it. It just feels like, actually, it's just more invasive if you're female than if you're male. I probably won't ask to go privately and be patted down privately, because I suspect it's probably not that much of a problem. Now I know about it. But it did occur to me, it is massively more intimate. Very, very different. And I'm sure, well thought through, and I'm sure they have a plan for it, and I'm sure it's kind of, nobody was doing anything that isn't by the book or isn't by procedure, and they were all very professional and very nice, and nobody was taking a piss, and nobody was giving me a hard time. But it is massively more intimate than if you're a male. At least that's what I think. What do you think? /NicciTake, #NicciTake, or @NicciTake, or just Google NicciTake and tell me, is being patted down as a female more intimate than being patted down as a boy? Bye.